Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to learn how to use the pen tool for Adobe Illustrator. In your notes on line paper, write down drawing with the pen tool is better for drawing more precisely. Just put pen tool equals precise. So you can draw both straight and curved lines really precisely. All right, so make a new layer named pen tool if you haven't already done so. And I'll show you how to do that. If you've already done it, great. If you've already done it, just click on the pen tool layer. If you haven't, click over here, make a new layer, and call it pen tool. And I'm going to click OK. All right, so we've made our layer called pen tool, and draw with the pen tool. So create straight lines. I want you to make it doesn't have to be perfect star, but just make a star and change the fill and stroke colors. Okay. So again, make sure we're on the pen tool layer. Now you're going to come over here. We were using the pencil tool before. Now we're going to use the pen tool, and all you do is you click, release, click, 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 release, click, release, click, release, click, release, click, release, click, release, click. Now, I told you didn't have to be oh, by the way, to make it a closed path, we're going to go right back. See that little square right there? We're going to go right there to that anchor point, click, and we're going to finish it. Yeah, look at how perfect that is. That's beautiful. All right, so I'm going to go to my fill color. I'm going to go to my stroke weight. Okay, and then if I want to, I can change it to round caps. Oh, did that make a difference? It didn't seem like it made a difference. It didn't. Okay, so let's see if we... No, none of that makes any difference. Oh, here it is. I can change my corners. So I can round the corners if I want. I can do beveled corners. I think the mitered corners are the best. Okay, so let's do that. So that's good. We've got that. So we've got our star. If you need help, ask me for help. Okay. Now this sissy blue color means that you have a handout. Grab that handout, and what I want you to do is write down this. By the way, this is not Bezier. That's how American would say it. But if you're French or Belgian, you'd say Bezier. So this is a Bezier curve, is a curve in a vector-based illustration program that has control points. All right, so make a little arrow from an anchor point, make a little arrow from here to the control, the direction line, and then make a little arrow over here to the direction, the point, the handle. Okay, so you have the anchor, the line, and the handle. Okay, write that down. All right. How do you use the pen tool? Well, how far you drag the handle determines how strong the curve is. All right, and you always want to look forward, not backwards. Okay, just like life. In life, you don't really want to dwell on what's happened in the past. You want to look forward into the good changes and things you can do in the forward, right? So the pen tool is just like life. Let's see how that works in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so I'm going to go to my selection tool. I'm going to move this thing out of the way. Actually, I'll probably just shrink that down. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go to my pen tool, and let's see what shape. Let's say I want to draw I don't know. I want to draw something. I want to draw a rounded mountain. Okay, so look, there's my anchor, but now here's my handle or my line. All right, and so it's like throwing a rock or shooting a rubber band. It's like if I do stretch it out this way, the rubber band's going to go really far. Okay, and then when I click this, it went really far. Okay, so I'm going to hit delete that. Let's try it a different way. So let's try it with, if I just barely stretch it, okay, my rock, it's like I threw my rock, but I didn't throw it very hard, right? So let's try it again. So if I click and drag my line and my handle, it's like really far. It's like I'm shooting that rock really far, and so it goes up. Okay, so I created like a little mound right there. Okay. All right, so what I'm telling you is this. If you click, 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 you can make straight lines. If I click, drag, release, click, drag, release, click, drag, release, I can create nice Bezier curves. And so it was talking about how they have handles. So now I'm going to go to this tool. I want to show you this. You don't have to do this, but I can go to the direct selection tool. I can grab those handles and I can adjust my curves, right? So it's very nice. They're called control handles, right? Because you have full control on everything. So I can move this around. I have full control over this curve and how it works. Okay, so it's very complicated. It's not easy to understand at first, but the thing is that it's the most important tool in Adobe Illustrator. That's how you get really nice artwork, right? So at first it's really frustrating, um, but after a while, it's like your best friend. So, all right, so I want you to create an S and then make a perfect circle. All right, so here's how we do it. So I want you to practice this. So you're on your layer called pen tool. We've turned off our pencil tool layer. We've clicked on our pen tool layer. And to make a perfect S, you start and you click straight up, release, click and drag straight over, release, click and drag straight down, click and drag across, release, click and drag down, click and drag across, and click and drag straight up. And on this one, we're going to get rid of the fill like that, and we're going to change our stroke to be thicker, and then we're going to get rid of, we do not want the dreaded butt cap, we want a round cap. Okay, play around with that, see if you can do it. I'll help you. I'll come around and help you. And then the next thing is we're going to see who has, so I'm going to grab the hand. I can move my whole artboard around. Okay, so now we're going to see who can use the pen tool and draw a perfect circle. So to do a perfect circle, you click, drag. I'm going to hit the shift because it constrains it to be perfectly like that. Click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, and then we're going to go right back to our original anchor point and click and drag. I don't know, is that perfect? No. If you want to mess around with it, you can, if you get it pretty close and you want it to get it perfect, you can click on the direct selection tool and you can go to the anchor and you can move it down a little bit. You can click on this. I'm using the arrow keys to move it around. You can click on these handles. You can adjust it. Oh, that was bad. Okay, so you can try to get it perfect. Okay? All right, but this is really challenging. You're going to be super frustrated. Ask me for lots of help. And we're going to, just so you know, if you don't get the pen tool today, we're going to spend lots of time on the pen tool later. Okay. Use the control key to change the selection tool so that you can draw a new curve. Oh, I didn't show you that. Okay, that's important. All right, so it's frustrating. Here's another thing that's frustrating about the pen tool. So let's say I click and drag, and it's like, oh, good, I got my S done. And then you come over here, oh, I'm going to draw the number 2. It's like, oh, they're connected still. Oh, shoot. So if you're drawing something and you want to draw something new, press Control on the keyboard. So see this finger? Do you see it? I'm going to hit the Control key, and it changes it to the arrow tool. See? So if I click here, it's going to keep drawing. But if I hit Control and click, it clicks off, and then it goes back to the pen tool, so I can draw a new thing. Okay, so that's a handy little keyboard shortcut. Oh my goodness, draw Bezier. Okay, this is advanced. All right, only this if you're like up for a challenge, do this. If you're not up for a challenge, don't do this because this is way too advanced. This is like version 2.0 here. Okay, I'm going to click and delete. So I'm going to use my selection tool. I'm going to click, delete. I'm going to leave these things because that's what we're supposed to do. But all right, so the idea is to draw a teardrop or a raindrop or something, a tear because you're sad because this is so hard. Why did Mr. Miller make me do this hard thing? So we're going to go to the pen tool. So we're going to click. Let me zoom in. We'll focus here like laser beams. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the pen tool. So we're going to click and drag. Okay, click. This is probably going to be bad at first. Drag, and then I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag like this. Okay, now if I want this to be how does it know I want a smooth curve versus a point? If I hit the Alt key on the keyboard and drag it down, it creates a point. And then I can click, drag, and click, drag, so I can make a teardrop. Okay, so then that's a terrible teardrop, so I'm going to come back to my direct selection tool. I'm going to click and drag this up. I'm going to drag this up, make it more rounded. I'm going to click and drag this to make it more rounded, something like that. Okay, so I've created maybe something more like that. No, that was bad. Oh, you know what I'll do is I'll click on this. I'll drag this down. There we go. I'll click on this. I'll drag this down. So I make my teardrop. Okay, so you use the Alt key and ask me for help when you get to that. So try to make that teardrop, okay, if you're up for a challenge. Okay, so a Bezier curve, so that's, you can do a lot of rounded stuff, but if you want a corner anchor point, you have to hit the Control key. Okay, so get out this note and make a little line to right there. That is a corner anchor point. Okay, that's a corner anchor point, and we'll learn how to do that. So did I say Control? It's Alt. Sorry, it's you press Alt to create that. All right, that's it for now. We're going to go on to basic shape.